President Tinubu's two-day visit to Qatar, impact and prospects for Nigeria.
The national MSME clinics, they are designed to bring the government in close proximity to the people.
Boosting micro, small and medium enterprises, Vice President Shettima inaugurates modern Adire facility in Abuja.
Protection of the marine environment, maritime labor and for related matters 2024. Second reading taken.
Senate advances debate on legislation to enhance Nigeria's marine environment. Hello and welcome to the Network News. I am Olajide Bello. Joining me from Lagos is Hingino John Adams, and Musa Abakar is on standby for the business news segment. Also joining us on the news tonight is the special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity during the Lale to review President Tinubu's just concluded state visit to Qatar. Remember, you can watch this broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. Only a few days ago, President Tinubu was in Qatar at the instance of the Emir of the State of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. The visit was to strengthen bilateral relations between the two countries in the areas of security, economy and cultural exchange. The two-day visit also witnessed the signing of agreements which focused on boosting Nigeria's real sector and creative value addition investment. Though hectic, the President also took time to participate in a business investment forum for the mutual benefit of the two countries. He returned to the country on Monday, but not without a visit to the historic Qatar National Museum. And joining me live in the studio to put to perspective President Tinubu's two-day visit to Qatar is the special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity during Lale. Welcome to the Network News.
Good evening to you, my brother, and good evening to all Nigerians and those watching at home and abroad.
All right, let's start with, the President's historic visit to Qatar and the reception by the Qatari Emir. Well, what does it mean for Nigeria as a nation?
I think there is a very clear recognition on the part of the Emir of the State of Qatar and his team that the Federal Republic of Nigeria is an indispensable ally, not just on its own merits, but also within the context of its role in regional affairs. Obviously, as Africa's largest economy, Africa's largest democracy, and with a head of state in the person of His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who doubles as the chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, that there is a need to deepen collaboration across sectors with the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And of course, we are fortunate at this time in our history to have a man as president who is a business person, who comes from the private sector, and who speaks the language of business. And I can say, as someone who was in the room, that His Excellency, Mr. President, made it very clear to the Emir of Qatar that the youths of Nigeria are ready. They are equipped and able to power not just Nigerian industry, but Qatari industry, and that any foreign direct investment coming from the State of Qatar into the Federal Republic of Nigeria will be an investment that can reap rewards unseen anywhere else in the world, in large part due to the level of skill and education and the innate, penchant for industry that we see not just from Nigerian young people, but from Nigerians generally. And this was really the nature of the conversation.
All right, talking about investments, 7 agreements were successfully concluded. How do you think these agreements will improve the relationship between the two countries?
Well, I think there are two major parts to this, right? On the one hand, you had the bilateral engagement that was followed by His Excellency Mr. President's closed-door meeting with the Amir of Qatar. Then, of course, you had the Business and Investment Forum at which Mr. President was present and, of course, opened the session. Starting with the bilateral engagement, I think a series of different sectors were explored during those conversations. The Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development, for example, in the person of Dr. Delia Lake, made a presentation in the presence of Mr. President to the Amir of the State of Qatar, in which he laid out very clearly the massive opportunity that exists in the solid minerals development sector with respect to Nigeria's wealth in high-grade solid minerals such as lithium, which we all know is a very prominent solid mineral in the age of technology, obviously making a major impact in terms of the production of batteries for electric vehicles and many other technological goods and services and devices. But in addition to that, at the Business and Investment Forum, His Excellency Mr. President made it a note to lay out exactly what he's been able to do over the course of the last 9 months as President, so that the investors understood that they are coming into an environment that is quickly transforming. In addition to the excellent work that was done by President Muhammadu Buhari with respect to the implementation of various infrastructure projects across sectors. But we made it very clear that $800 million has been set aside for the rehabilitation of the nation's seaports. We made it very clear that $1 billion has been set aside for the unlocking of the value chain in the healthcare sector, essentially a $1 billion pool of financing that is functioned to de-risk investments, so that when pharmaceutical companies and those who produce medical devices come into the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they will have a $1 billion pool of resource that will be basically functioning to ensure that whatever investments they make, that there is a financing pool to counterpart fund those projects. In addition, we made it clear that in the power sector, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is committed to the finalization and full implementation of the Presidential Power Initiative in collaboration with Siemens Energy. Obviously, under the leadership of President Tinubu, it has been signed the improved performance agreement, the accelerated performance agreement between the Nigerian government and Siemens. That will deal with the end-to-end modernization of the nation's power transmission grid. So when you put all of this together, and you're dealing with electricity, which is obviously a major discouraging factor over the years for foreign direct investors who are saying, look, we need cheap energy for our industries, affordable energy, not diesel power that's expensive and dirty. We're able to make that case now. When we talk about port rehabilitation to ensure that you're able to facilitate easily imports and exports moving into and out of the country, the President is saying, I'm putting action to my words on that. So he's letting investors know that the conditions are ripe, our young people are ready, Nigerians are ready to do the hard work, and we're open for business. And that's the case he made very strongly. And because of that, His Highness, the Amir of Qatar, made it very clear that he will be sending an investment team to Abuja to advance those discussions into concrete agreements that will be struck across sectors with respect to new investments that will be coming from Qatar into Nigeria. And right after that, His Excellency Mr. President obviously nominated the Coordinating Minister of the Economy and the Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Wale Edun, to chair and head that government team that will be negotiating with the Qataris with respect to the new investments that they will be making in Nigeria. Okay. There's good news on the way.
All right, I would have loved to ask more questions, but definitely time will not permit us. But we are very grateful. The special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, that's Ajiri Ngalale, for keeping us up to speed with the President's the low-hanging fruits from the President's visit to Qatar. Many thanks.
Thank you so much for having me. Good night.
Moving on, Vice President Kashim Shettima is reiterating the federal government's commitment to support operators of micro, small and medium-scale enterprises in Nigeria and create an enabling environment for them to thrive. The Vice President gave the assurance at the second expanded National Micro, Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises Clinic in Abuja, Ogun State Capital. Hakeem Jimo reports.
Stakeholders, including captains of industry and operators of micro, small and medium-scale enterprises from across Nigeria, converged on Abeokuta, Ogun State, to be part of the epoch-making second expanded National Micro, Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises Clinic. Vice President Kashim Shettima solicits the support of the people to truly transform the economy of Nigeria and promised that the federal government is sincerely committed to lifting citizens out of poverty through its various intervention schemes.
The national MSME clinics, they are designed to bring the government in close proximity to the people by combining all regulatory agencies under one roof. Each exhibitor present at the clinics today stands to gain from our MSME instant grant of 150,000 naira each. This grant is not only a source of immediate relief for the exhibitors, but also serves as a guiding hand to facilitate their access to loan facilities from renowned financial institutions and other key collaborators.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and others who appreciate the federal government for the choice of Ogun State assured that the state government will continue to leverage on technology to guarantee the ease of doing business.
Achievements in the SME subsector are testament to the visionary policies, interventions and programs that we have implemented by prioritizing investor incentives such as land rebates, improved infrastructure, and enhanced security measures.
Earlier, Vice President Shettima, who was accompanied by Governor Abiodun, inaugurated the modern state-of-the-art at the Kampala facility at Ashiru and Ostra Modern Fashion Hub at Ajibo Road, both in Abeokuta. Akem Jimo, NTA News.
Now to the Red Chambers. A legislation seeking to enhance procedures and strategies for the implementation of the International Convention in Nigeria's marine environment for economic empowerment and national development has passed a second reading at the Senate. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The maritime-related bill seeks to promote maritime safety and security, as well as provide protection for the nation's marine environment through the repeal and reenactment of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency by expanding its scope.
His jurisdiction extends to crafts flying a foreign flag in the exclusive economic zone, territorial and inland seas, inland waterways, and within the ports of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This administration created a ministry that is charged with the responsibility of dealing with blue economy. And this was done against the background of the fact that there is the need for us to diversify our economy.
Protection of the marine environment, ship registration and commercial shipping, Maritime Labor and for Related Matters 2024, second reading taken.
Also passed at second reading is the bill from the Senate leader, Ogbeyemi Bamidele, which seeks amendments to the National Assembly Library Trust Fund.
The bill
We do apologize for the abrupt ending of the report. Now to the Green Chambers. 1 million tons of rice will be produced within the next 3 months following dry season interventions to farmers under the National Agricultural Growth Scheme. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, says this is part of short-term measures to guarantee national food security. He was speaking at the House of Representatives sectoral debate with stakeholders in the agricultural sector. National Assembly correspondent Mitairi Ikpen reports.
Maize is not as much as rice in the dry season, but we intend to cultivate about 55,000 hectares, which will impact 110,000 farmers and a yield of 220,000 metric tons. Cassava also is 35,000 hectares with 70,000 farmers and a yield of 525,000 tons. So we're looking at a total of 250,000 hectares of rice for the dry season, which will mean impacting on 500,000 farmers and which will have an estimated yield of 1 million tons.
We go on a break now. The news continues. Thanks for being there. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed that since the removal of subsidy on petrol, more funds have been made available to directly impact the lives of Nigerians through the 3 tiers of government. This was when he received an award from the leadership group as the Person of the Year 2023. Saliu Guanara reports.
This event gave an account of stewardship by way of recognizing individuals and corporate organizations, both in the public and private sectors, for their impact on Nigeria's journey to progress and development. The country's helmsman, President Bola Tinubu, is one of such whose renewed hope initiative, particularly on investments in critical infrastructure and social security, caught the attention of the leadership group. Represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the president assured better days ahead with the commitment of $30 billion in foreign direct investment into the real sectors of the economy, including manufacturing, telecoms, healthcare, and oil and gas.
I have approved the disbursement of 200 billion naira through 3 new special intervention funds established to support Nigerian businesses. The first is a 50 billion naira presidential conditional grant scheme that provides business grants and loans to traders, vendors, transporters, workers, those in the ICT businesses, creatives, and artisans.
Former Deputy Governor of CBN, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, restated that strategic thinking and a clear, defined philosophy are key fundamentals to economic rebirth in Nigeria.
The best way to solve the economic crisis we're in now is simply to understand everything that caused and led to the crisis.
Among the awardees is 22-year-old Awalu Salisu, a commercial tricycle rider known as Keke Napep in Kano, who returned 15 million naira forgotten in his keke by a passenger. In Abuja, Saliu Guanara, NTA News.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has assured investors that the federal government is harnessing and expanding its network to partner with profitable ventures such as Netflix to further propagate the nation's culture and promote economic potential. At an engagement with the public policy team leaders of Netflix, the minister assured that ongoing reforms by the government is to create necessary platforms to boost investors' confidence and make Nigeria the preferred destination for foreigners.
Only urge you to please remain within the confines of what you know that is acceptable to us, what you know that is not culturally harmful, what is also not traditionally also harmful to our people, because our culture, our tradition, our way of life means a lot to us. We are doing a process of what we call the reverse japa here. Reverse japa in the sense that in the past it's always that our young people are always leaving this show and going outside the country. We are doing a thing. Our government is deliberately targeting our people to work with international organizations such as yours, international platforms, while remaining in Nigeria.
Leader of the team, Shola Soni, says partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation is the key into the nation's rebirth project and strengthen Nigeria's presence on the global entertainment platform with millions of subscribers in more than 190 countries.
We want children on Netflix. We don't want underage subscribers. So you have to be 18 and over. And that means also taking responsibility for what the family is viewing.
The engagement with stakeholders is expected to boost capital injection into Nigeria. Already 125 films and TV series from Nigeria are available on the Netflix platform. And on security matters, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Labuja, says the Nigerian Army has come to terms with Nigeria's choice of democracy as a preferred system of government, pledging the Army's support for sustainable democracy in the country. This was on the 2024 Career Planning and Management Seminar organized by the Department of Military Secretary in Abuja. The Chief of Army Staff, who urged officers to remain professional, says the seminar is designed to fine-tune ideas and formulate policies that will tackle 21st century challenges in the Army.
We are therefore agents of democracy and have no desire to truncate it. The Nigerian Army will continue to defend our constitution and not suspend it for whatever reason. It is the duty of our elected leaders to lead while the military does its job as enshrined in our constitution.
Other resource persons noted the importance of continuous training to develop highly skilled officers in the Nigerian military.
I should note that he might bear the brunt of lack of skill of competencies in soldiers that he failed to train when he finds himself leading them in operations.
Through these collaborative efforts, we aim to equip the participants with the foresight, skills, and expertise required to navigate the dynamic and evolving landscape of service in the Nigerian Army.
The federal government has reiterated commitment into implementing the United Nations Mine Action Service in the northeast region of the country. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Mohammed, gave the assurance while receiving a delegation from the United Nations Mine Action Service, led by Director Alan Khan at the Ship House. The ministers stressed government's readiness to collaborate with UMAS to facilitate the reintegration of internally displaced persons into the society to improve their livelihoods. The leader of the UMAS delegation, Alan Khan, commended the minister's efforts in mobilizing the Borno state government to key into the initiative and affirmed UMAS's commitment to support the ongoing rehabilitation of IDPs in the region. To addressing unemployment in continuation with its multifaceted interventions towards addressing unemployment and bridging development deficit, the Northeast Development Commission, in collaboration with Mainstream Academy, has trained and facilitated automatic employment for 60 youth as electrical linesmen across 6 states of the region. Fatima Isa reports.
The graduation ceremony, marking the completion of months of training and learning, was a testament to the resilience and determination of those young individuals who qualified as technicians, certified capable for electrical installation and connections, among other tasks. Certificates, employment letters, and financial support were part of the graduation packages.
We are here to not only serve Borno State, because we are here to serve the nation.
The nation is developing, and I don't see any challenges for a lady to go for the engineering aspect of study.
Managing Director of the Northeast Development Commission, Muhammad Goni, reiterated conviction of the Commission in human capital development towards fostering personal growth, social impact, and innovation.
As it is now, we are also going to monitor your progress, and if there is any opportunity that comes that needs our attention to intervene in your own case, we should also do so.
Executive Director of Administration and Finance of the NEDC, Abubakar Garba Ilya, emphasized the importance of skills acquisition for personal development in today's ever-changing world. In furtherance of the Commission's commitment to supporting local communities, the Commission presented vehicles to assist Arabic Village in Gala, Borno State, and a Hilux van to the NEDC Governors Forum in Maiduguri. Fatima Isa, NTA News.
And on wildlife conservation, the 2024 World Wildlife Day, with the theme Connecting People and Planet, Exploring Digital Innovation in Wildlife Conservation, bears a special significance, particularly for Nigerian recommendations of the International Consortium for Combating Wildlife and Forest Crime Analytic Toolkit Assessment. Charles Alpha reports that the theme reveals a greater need to reinstill love for nature and enforcement of laws and wildlife crimes as the Ministry of Environment and partners commemorate the day in Abuja.
People everywhere rely on wildlife and biodiversity-based resources to meet daily needs such as food, fuel, medicines, housing, and clothing. But their gradual disappearance puts man and his environment in great danger. To raise awareness on the wide range of economic, environmental, and social impacts, the Ministry of Environment, United Nations on Drugs and Crime, FAO, the US and UK embassies, as well as the German government, were in Abuja, Nigeria, to mark the day. Their convergence is equally to underscore the pivotal role technology can play in enhancing conservation efforts that will forge deeper connection between humanity and nature.
Together, let us strive to bridge the gap between humanity and nature, recognizing that our fate is tied down with the well-being of the natural world.
The assessment examines institutional capacities of specialized law enforcement.
Certainly should have an important role. It's welcome, but we feel that could be strengthened.
We applaud and join the commitment of the Nigerian government to end Nigeria's role as a transit country for the illegal wildlife trade.
World Wildlife Day, celebrated every 3rd of March, presents an opportunity to celebrate the many beautiful and varied forms of wild fauna and flora. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
We now join Hingino in Lagos for more stories from that center. Good evening, Hingino. You're on.
Thank you, Olajide. Thousands of women entrepreneurs will be empowered to become more self-reliant thanks to Africa's largest digital communication network provider, Mobile Telephone Network, MTN Nigeria. The Yellowpreneur Initiative Phase 2 was unveiled in Lagos. Executive Director, MTN Nigeria Foundation, Odun Ayo Sonia, says apart from capacity building, 600 million naira grants will also be distributed to top 150 selected women entrepreneurs after the training in various entrepreneurial skills. Diana Ajali reports.
Reports from the National Bureau of Statistics put female unemployment rate in Nigeria at 35.2%. This informed the MTN Yellowpreneur initiated in 2022 to change the narrative through capacity building, while also giving access to equipment loan with flat interest rate of 2.5%, as well as grants to selected women as part of the company's corporate social responsibility to empower women within its operational base.
This initiative will contribute to reductions in female unemployment and advance women development through training designed to enhance their entrepreneurial skills.
Before the MTN initiative, Yellowpreneur initiative came up, my business was struggling a bit. So with that initiative, I was able to get the equipment that actually had a bit automated our processes.
For this second phase, there are 1,000 women that will be going through the learning, and in addition to that, I think one important thing we've had to do is to review the curriculum to ensure that it aligns very well with the economic situation and environment in Nigeria.
Executive Director, MTN Nigeria Foundation, says the initiative is to support and enhance women entrepreneurial skills.
The Yellowpreneur initiative is MTN's way of ensuring that women are economically active citizens, within the communities they exist in, the states and the nation.
The Yellowpreneur initiative is an initiative that is going to enable and empower and scale up the businesses of female entrepreneurs.
Out of the 600 million naira to be distributed among outstanding business women, 450 million naira is expected to be distributed among the top 150 women as equipment loan with 3 million naira each, while the balance will also be given to participants as empowerment grants. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Nigeria is taking a giant leap in improvement of local content in the steel sector through modernization of welding and fabrication industry in the country to meet international standard. Speaking at the annual Assembly and International Welding Federation Africa Conference in Lagos, Minister of State for Steel Development, Obamegari Amadou, tasked industry stakeholders to align with government's determination to create more employment opportunities by professionalizing the industry. Joel Popola has the report.
Nigeria's vast potential in the steel industry cannot be overemphasized. Matching the available opportunities in the sector with required expertise is what the current administration is working towards actualizing. This will help in tapping the full potential of the industry, especially in welding and fabrication. Minister of State for Steel Development, Uba Megari Amadu, says the National Welding Policy, an initiative launched in December 2023, will unlock opportunities in welding and fabrication by leveraging on natural resources and human capacity to drive economic growth. To achieve this, the Metallurgical Training Institute Onitsha and other institutions have been upgraded to provide the much needed technical knowledge.
The attention now is on training the middle level technicians like it obtained in Europe to service this very critical sector of our economy. It is an industry that is very key in the heart of Nigeria's economy, the oil and gas, telecoms, you name it.
For industry players, including representatives of the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, welding and fabrication can be a lucrative business with international certification that will open up the sector and end capital flights.
Welders are not just roadside basic laborers. These are skilled people who have gone through fantastic training to be able to contribute not only to removing unemployment in Nigeria, but also to producing all of the necessary infrastructure that we need for the development of the country at large.
The minister took a tour to inspect some of the latest equipment showcased by key players in fabrication and welding. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
That's it from here. You're
still watching NTA Network News. Let's now talk business. Bank of Ghana says it has suspended the foreign exchange trading licenses of Guarantee Trust Bank Ghana Limited and First Bank Ghana Limited, effective 18th March 2024, for a period of 1 month, in accordance with Section 11, Subsection 2 of the Foreign Exchange Act 2006. Statement from the bank says this is as a result of various breaches of the foreign exchange market regulations, including fraudulent documentation in their foreign exchange operations, which have come to the attention of the Bank of Ghana. The license will be restored at the end of 1 month suspension period once the Bank of Ghana is satisfied that they have put in place effective controls to ensure strict adherence to regulations to the foreign exchange market. Energy crude oil futures fell for a second consecutive day Tuesday as China's pledge to boost economic growth and OPEC Plus production cuts failed to lift prices. CNBC reports that the West Texas Intermediate crude Act for April dropped 72 cents or 0.91% to $78.02 a barrel. May Brent futures shed 57 cents or 0.69% to $82.83 a barrel. The equities market extended positive sentiment to Tuesday trading session as investors gained 193.69 billion naira. At the end of today's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of 398 million shares in 10,976 deals valued at 31.7 billion naira were traded. Tuesday's trades data shows a 7% decline in volume, 60% improvement in turnover and 2% improvement in deals. The all-share index grew by 0.35% to close at 99,190.46 basis point, as the current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is 56.1 trillion naira. That's a quick look at business news. Olajide is back to you.
Many thanks, Musa, and it's good doing business with you. Nigeria has expressed confidence to demonstrate dynamism towards the actualization of the Rabat process and migration as part of efforts to curb irregular migration in the country. Ruth Aguela reports that the Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Aliu Tijani Ahmed, said this when he received a delegation from the International Center for Migration Policy Development in Abuja.
Nigeria has continued to engage the international community on migration dialogue to pave ways for balanced and comprehensive approaches to address gaps in migration challenges in the country.
A good opportunity for Nigeria to really shape the agenda of
this visit by the delegation of the International Center for Migration Policy Development to Nigeria is to strengthen partnership with the Commission and explore diverse means of curbing the growing trend of irregular migration among young Nigerians. For the Commission, the partnership is timely, as Nigeria gets set to chair the Rabat process with focus on young people who regularly seek for greener pastures outside the country.
By next year, 2025, when Nigeria became the president of the Rabat process, this will be one of the major issues that is going to be tabled before the process. We also want to see that our youth have the access through legal means to go and acquire more knowledge and disseminate the knowledge back to this country.
One of the priorities for us, for ICMPD, will be also to support the efforts of the National Commission and the Nigerian government in developing legal pathways, promoting legal pathways for migration, especially for the Nigerian youth, working together on skills development, skills accreditation.
The Commission is hoping that support from the international community will sustain efforts for reintegration of migrants towards national development. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
And as the President of Nigeria, quote, I will not only give my full support to the Veterans Foundation, but will also ensure that such areas like improving the pension and severance package of retired police officers are immediately reviewed to reflect the enormity of their contributions and commitment to our nation. And quote, this is the commitment from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in a message at the inauguration of Police Veterans Foundation in Abuja. Francis Fom reports.
It is the inauguration of Veterans Foundation.
The foundation will serve as a beacon of support and solidarity, reinforcing the enduring legacy of service, loyalty, hard work, commitments that define the Nigerian police force.
There is no doubt that greater percentage of retirees are facing different post-service challenges, ranging from healthcare to assisting the families of deceased officers, as well as extending financial support for retirees due to inadequate pension and mega severance packages. President Bola Tinubu, in a message delivered by the Minister of State for Police Affairs, who acknowledged the contributions of the veterans, says administrative processes towards issuance of executive order will be immediately initiated to set aside a day, perhaps 5th of March, as National Police and Veterans Day in Nigeria.
Supporting and assisting the police veterans is rather a moral imperative, nay obligatory on government at all levels, including well-meaning members of the society.
We are trying to see what we can do to start a police children forum. And the whole idea of the forum is to bring ourselves together to see what support we can give to our parents. And this foundation provides a ready platform.
The Inspector General of Police promises that he will support and give his cooperation where necessary to see that the Police Veterans Foundation achieves its desired goals.
To complement these initiatives, the force is also pursuing a set of actions to prepare officers for a better life in retirement, which include healthcare provisions, financial planning support, and specialized training to equip officers with skills that transcend their active service. Francis Fom, NTA News.
Another break beckons. Glad to know you're still there. Now let's join our sport desk for sport update.
On the Africa Games, table tennis in Nigeria's first medal amongst the 25 sports listed for the 13th Africa Games taking place in Ghana after Edem Offiong settled for the bronze medal in the women's singles. The Spain-based Nigerian player lost to Dina Meshev in the semi-finals to settle for the bronze medal, just like she did in 2019 in Rabat, Morocco. In the men's singles, it will be a repeat of 2015 final when current African champion Nigerian's Awuna Quadri will slug it out against former Africa Games champion Omar Assa of Egypt. To combat sports, it was a massive turnout of fans to witness the grand finale of season 2 of the Dambe Warriors Super Fight in Lagos. There were 9 interesting bouts, 6 professional fights involving newly promoted warriors, and 3 top flight bouts which featured fighters who distinguished themselves at the top division.
Bringing this traditional Nigerian sport to the rest of the country, this could be bigger than sumo, this could be bigger than taekwondo. Our goal is to make it that in Nigeria.
The next step will be obviously doing exhibition matches at the All-African Games, even the Olympics. Who knows, who says what? And that is the pathway to internationalizing the sport.
In other news, over 100 archers from various parts of the country are scheduled to participate at the Maiden Zen Archery Club Open Championship, slated for the main bowl of the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Lagos, from the 9th to the 10th of March 2024. The two-day championship aims to create awareness in the sport and also identify talents from the under-16 category.
We need to foster the development of archery in Nigeria, and that is one of the reasons why this tournament is coming up now. And for the first time ever, I know that archery will be featured at the National Sports Festival.
In other news, the need for sports stakeholders to continue to collaborate for the growth and the development of sports in the country has been reiterated. This was at the 4th edition of the Sportsville Award Night.
Is honoring those who have made significant contribution to sports development generally.
The quality of awardees, and you can see that this is really special. We have said that this award is credible.
The event, which had 22 awards, was created to celebrate sports administrators in the country. With Sports Update, Gifts George, NTA News.
And up next is the weather forecast.
We expect a quiet Wednesday morning across the country with sunny and hazy skies across the north and patches of cloud with sunshine intervals to the central cities down to the southern region, though we have chances of morning thunderstorms to parts of Akwa Ibom and Cross River. And as the day progresses, we have prospect of isolated thunderstorms to parts of the southeast coast, extending to most parts of the inland cities of the south, as well as the central cities, while thundery activities are likely across parts of southern Kebbi, Kaduna, and southern Taraba. Temperatures over the north are in their 40s, and Kano reported as high as 44 degrees Celsius. Let's take a look at the forecast.
And that's it on the network news. Many thanks for being a part of it. I am Olajide Bello.